All right, everybody, gather around. Uncle Randall's going to tell a story. And you might not believe this, but actually I wrote that. I also wrote in all the ums and hesitations and so on. So, about 12 years ago, I was teaching a class of freshmen, which is my usual job, freshman writers. And the people, back in those days, the people in the Career Center, they work in the building on 5th Street. And they would always send emails out. They wanted to visit, requesting invitations to visit classrooms. And I ignored them year after year, but then one year I decided to let them do it. And but the only condition was that they talk about writing and how important writing is in job placement and also job advancement. And so a few weeks later, a couple of career counselors show up to my classroom, and I get to sit among my students, and they proceed to go through their usual spiel. And they actually did get to talk about writing, and they showed surveys where employers were talking about how much they valued writing as far as in their employees and so on. So that made me happy, and so I just sat through the rest of their spiel, and I was ready to get my lesson going when they flashed on the screen a slide that kind of kind of knocked me off my feet a little bit. So they were showing a PowerPoint presentation. Yes, back 12 years ago they did have PowerPoint presentations. One slide after another showed how important it was for students to stay in school. That was their main emphasis, was retention, or their main objective was retention. The presentation culminated in I guess it was their showstopper. So on the screen there was one column. The left column had degrees from PhD, MFA, MA, BS, BA, associates, down to high school diploma. On the other side was the average salaries that people in these different degrees had or could expect. And so so there was no real surprises. The PhDs had the highest average salary, and the people with high school diplomas had the lowest. I remember looking on that right column, looking for my salary, and looking down, 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 and let me pause here. I was reading with a literature class a short story called The Open Boat by Stephen Crane. Great short story, check it out. And there's a line from The Open Boat that occurred to me at that moment. And the character in the story thinks, therefore he knows the pathos of this situation. Because right across from my average salary was associate's degree, was a 2-year degree. And good God, I know the importance of people with associate's degree, especially in this kind of weather where pipes are bursting and heat pumps stop pumping and so on. But it was still kind of disconcerting to see my average salary on that screen next to associates. But at least my salary was on the screen. So I want to shift now to people who teach those who have pursued the associate's degree. And I'm going to read portions of a recent letter. This was submitted to the Greenville Guardian. Like it on Facebook, please. And it's from an anonymous adjunct. He or she did not leave his or her name. So I'm quoting here for the next couple minutes. I teach at PCC as an adjunct. I'm paid just a few dollars under $1,500 per course. Teaching 7 courses a semester between two schools, I'm one of the lucky ones. I gross just over $15,000 a year, but I only clear about $11,000. Where do you think on that screen? I mean, would it be even up to what someone with a high school diploma is getting? I'm paid only for the time I spend in the classroom teaching. I'm not given compensation for the time spent grading, and I'm in the humanities, so the grading load is high, or planning or meeting with students. I'm not paid for the time spent on paperwork I must complete or the time spent uploading work to Moodle and answering emails. I'm not paid for departmental meetings, some of which require commute. When it is all said and done, if we count all the hours I actually work per week against the hours I'm paid to work each week, my pay rate is around $6 per hour. Obviously, I'm not even able to afford to make payments on my student loans. Of course, I could be a slacker and do the bare minimum, show up to class and lecture on the fly, since I'm not paid to plan, and never give homework. I'm not paid to make it or grade it, and never answer student emails or meet with students who need help, since I'm not paid for that either. But that isn't possible for me or anyone else who has a conscience. Like many things happening lately, this new business model for education is extremely short-sighted, and I'm rather tired of being valued for more for being a warm pulse in the room than I am for my expertise and ability. I'm also rather tired of being told how to do my job by businessmen and administrators who have little or no experience in the classroom or in education. And frankly, my students are fed up with it also. Okay, so I'm going to move to my less eloquent own voice here. Wages often are a measure of how much a society values particular jobs. There is a disconnection when it comes to teaching in general and adjuncts in particular. No one doubts education's importance. When he introduced his plan for 2 years of free college, community college, President Barack Obama said, "A college degree is the surest ticket to the middle class." And I don't even think his political enemies had anything to quibble over that one. Pretty safe statement. Adjunct teachers are often the ones giving the most assistance to students as they pull themselves up to the middle class. So shouldn't teachers have a chance to be in the middle class? Let's insist that our lawmakers make the following not very controversial actions into priorities. Give us job security and pay teachers a wage that matches their grade responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you.